Hello everyone, this is Nathan P. Butler, the author of A Saga on Home Video, a fan's guide to U.S. Star Wars home video releases, which you can find now on Amazon. And this video is just to quickly announce that yes, finally, after a while of working on it and a lot of feedback from viewers on the YouTube channel, my Patreon has finally launched. You can find that Patreon at patreon.com, that's patreon.com/Nathan P. Butler. Just run all that together as one word, Nathan P. Butler. That's how I say it sometimes anyway, right? I speak very quickly. What you're going to find there is information on just sort of the background of the Patreon, which we've talked about before here on the channel, so I don't want to go into all of that again. But you'll also find information about the different pledge tiers and different goals for this particular Patreon. So I want to run through those really quickly for those who haven't heard about them, haven't watched the other videos about them, or maybe wondering whether or not to bother jumping over to check out the Patreon page. But it's easiest just to jump to the page and then you'll find out all the information right there in front of you. So, the first tier of Patreon pledges is if you pledge $1 or more per month, then you get my thanks for your support, and that will show up in the end credits of my monthly brand new series of project update videos. Those are going to have a special thanks at the end, and then eventually, when we have a second edition of A Saga on Home Video later, probably a few years from now, there'll be a special Patreon thanks page, and you'll appear on that as well. Those people will be known as the travelers through the Butlerniverse. Then we have what will likely be the most popular of the tiers, which is the $5 or more per month tier, and that gives you access to a series of exclusive audio commentary MP3s that I'm producing exclusively for Patreon supporters. These are MP3 commentaries that you can listen to while watching episodes, at least to begin with, of The Clone Wars in chronological order. It's something where essentially I count down to when you should start, you start watching, I start doing the commentary, it runs right alongside the episode as I'm responding to things happening on screen and things about the episode, and there'll be one eventually for every episode of the Clone Wars. Then we'll get into stuff like Rebels as well, which will probably actually start before Clone Wars is fully done. We'll have stuff like the Star Wars films covered, the Ewok telemovies, lots of different audio commentaries, but again, starting with the Clone Wars, and you'll get at least 2 of those released each month. We're actually starting that this month with Cat and Mouse and The Hidden Enemy. And then we'll probably be tossing in a third one, just, you know, for the fun of it here, since it is the launch month, which will be the Clone Wars film, a full-length film commentary to be part of that series. Again, if you want access to those exclusive MP3 commentaries, hop over there, pledge $5 or more per month, become a denizen of the Butlerniverse, and you'll have access to those MP3 files. And you'll also still get the thanks that the previous tier got. Then we have the nobility of the Butlerniverse. These are people who pledge $10 or more per month. They get the previous 2 tiers and access to a Patreon exclusive and just this tier exclusive Q&A video that I'll be doing once per month, where I gather up questions just from those Patreon supporters and answer the questions as a Q&A. So no more waiting around a couple of months or 2 or 3 months to wind up eventually getting one on YouTube. No more fighting with others to try to make sure that your questions are interesting enough to wind up being in the Q&A. Now you'll get a guaranteed Q&A video once per month, assuming anybody asks questions, of course. And you can be sure that I'll be answering all the questions that are available, as long as I'm not putting my marriage or career in jeopardy, right? So if you want access to a Q&A that comes a little more rapidly than the ones I do on YouTube, and that'll make sure that what you're asking gets answered, become part of the nobility of the Butlerniverse, pledge $10 or more per month. And then we do have a goal along with this. If we can get to a point where the total amount of Patreon pledges per month is $500 or more, I will be bringing back From the Star Wars Library, my YouTube series that ended a few years ago, looking at Star Wars books and comics in publication order and looking at them sort of in the context of where they stand in terms of the entire Legends continuity. And eventually we'll be adding some canon stuff in there as well. I'll be bringing that back with at least 1 new episode of that series per month, probably more, if we can reach that $500 a month or more goal. So, all that being said, I hope you find that intriguing. You can find, again, more information over on the Patreon page. You can also find information about how to acquire a signed copy of my book, if you have not already, there on the Patreon page. Again, it's patreon.com/Nathan P. Butler. Thank you all very much for your support over the years. Hopefully you'll find this new venture with Patreon something that you might find interesting or intriguing. And, hey, you decide to sign up for it, enjoy those commentaries, enjoy the thanks, enjoy the Q&A. I really appreciate it.